Hey! Yes, sir, and we are back. We are back. Not in a positive way, but not in a negative way. So that's positive in a way. Anyway, we are here to talk to you today about Miyamoto Masashi and more with that pots. But all jokes aside, all right, fine. Alexa, tell me a joke. Alexa, let me hear a joke.
What's a princess's favorite hot dog topping?
Okay, this is
Cinderellish.
all right. I thought it was gonna go a really different way, but okay, I'm gonna take it. That's a pretty good joke. Cinderella's. All right. But anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and talk to you about Miyamoto Musashi today. Now, this dude was a certified badass. This dude won his first duel by the age of 13. And when I mean win, I don't mean like he conquered his opponent. I mean like he slaughtered that motherfucker. But it wasn't murder because it was like an honorable thing back in the samurai days. Miyamoto Musashi was born in 1585 and died in 1645. But before he died, he won upwards of 60 duels, 60 battles in the samurai way, right? Now, the reason why that is so amazing because he didn't lose a single one of those battles. Henceforth he was allowed to have more. So I mean, you can't really lose a battle. If you lose, you ain't really there. But now, the reason why that is so astonishing. All right, man, fuck. Let's get you a quieter toy. Just take it. I don't know. I guess we don't get to find a quieter toy. Now, the reason why this was so astonishing was because not only did this dude win upwards of 60 battles before his death day came, he didn't lose a single one. Now, I'm not sure about when it comes down to like sparring and practicing and mock duels, but I know that when it came down to that bit when he had to lay down some creep and get that work done, that man wasn't losing. He made sure that every time he stepped on that battlefield, his mind was clear and he was focused, right? And that's what's one of the things that stuck out is the fact that he was very, very focused on making sure that he had this shit right here, right? You know what I mean? He spent many, many years just writing his thoughts down in books and notepads and making sure that he worked through all of these challenges that he had inside of himself, whether it came down to discipline or doing the right thing or other battles that we have within ourselves, And anytime you see someone facing those, it's an honorable thing. It's an admirable thing, So I figured that we could jump down into a couple of the quotes that he left behind for us and just see if we could find some middle ground because he was definitely dealing with different challenges than us. I didn't have to like slay no one at 13 with a sword, but there is middle ground there. So let's see if we can use some of the things he left behind to our benefit. Yes, sir. But this right here just kind of lets you know where his mindset was as far as when it came down to like battles and challenges and making sure that he had no excuses, right? This is one of his first ones, right? To win any battle, you must fight as if you were already dead. Now, I mean, that I feel like we all kind of know to a certain extent. We're just kind of scared to do it. But I mean, you got to make sure that whatever you're trying to do in life. Now, I know that we're not necessarily trying to slay kids with swords and stuff. You know what I mean? We're not trying to be out there, taking down, I don't know, Conor McGregor with a katana. But with that being said, there are battles that we face on a daily, just simply trying to achieve what we want to achieve out of life. And if you don't go after that, like your last day is tomorrow, then you're not gonna ever be able to achieve the heights that you're capable of achieving. I'm not saying that you won't, maybe you will. But if you go after it with an undying, unwavering will to get it done and understanding that this is your last chance to do it every single second you're breathing, then you have so much more opportunity there. And there's heights that you're going to reach that you never thought you could have reached. But don't let that deceive you because what that takes is a lot of work in here. It takes a lot of breaking down your character and finding your flaws and fighting against those flaws to have that kind of unwavering and undying dedication to something, So that's something you're gonna have to be working on for the rest of your life. But just make sure that that's one of the directions you're going, being willing and able to go all out. And if this is your last chance to be able to do it, you're gonna do it with everything you got. You know what I'm saying? But here we go. Here's the next one. Understand, there's more than one path to the top of the mountain. And that's something that when actually I'll tell you who told that to me the first time I heard it was Stephen Lonely. And I'm guessing he probably knows about Miyamoto Musashi if that's where this quote came from. Or maybe he heard it from another person that heard it from this guy. But what he said to me exactly was it doesn't matter how you get there. It doesn't matter if you use a boat, a car, a tricycle, a scooter, as long as you get there. Right? So sometimes we'll have this ideal path set up in our mind, like I'm gonna get to be 16 years old, I'm gonna be a famous actor who's gonna have 3 Bugattis and $17 billion sitting in a bank account on an island off the coast of Costa Rica that's recently been evacuated so I can have it all to myself. You know, things like this. I know that we have this fixated idea of what life is supposed to be, but it's not always going to work out in your favor. And that's one of the only guarantees we have in life. So with that being said, be comfortable with just working on yourself, because you can grow a business and it can tank. You can make a school and it can burn down. You could build a house and it could be fucking taken out by an earthquake. But if you build what's inside of here, no one can take that from you. No one can take the strength, the will, and the courage that you've developed over the past years trying to get to these courses. You know, I guess it also goes with saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket, but, you know, just don't be afraid to take other paths, you know, especially if you're young. You know, if you're in your 20s and 30s, you got time. Use this time to your advantage. Use your 20s and your teens and your 30s to just do a bunch of different jobs. Just find out what you enjoy. Give yourself a chance to experience things. And once you have more experience under your belt, you will find out for yourself what you enjoy doing and what you don't enjoy doing. But if you're just too scared to take a move and you're too scared to jump out of this job because you're scared that you won't be able to be financially secure, then that fear is going to be the thing that guides your life for the rest of it, you know? Sometimes you got to take risk. And in this world, risks are dangerous. But what's life without a little bit of risk? You know what I'm saying? So y'all don't be afraid to jump out of something if you're stuck in a job that you don't like. Don't be afraid to jump into something if you're scared, but you know you would enjoy it. And don't be mad at yourself if you thought you would enjoy something and you go and find out you fucking hate it. Like, that's just another part of life. And now you know that you don't like to do that stuff. So be open to making and taking risk and just experiencing experiences. But this one right here I really enjoy. It honestly spoke to me pretty deeply, so I wanted to make sure that we spoke with it, I guess, deeply. But here we go, right? So it says, to know 10,000 things, know one thing well. And I mean, this is just shown to be true so many times in my life, and I'm figuring it's happening in other lives too, right? But I mean, for instance, we'll just take it very simple, right? When I was younger, I started playing this game called Rocket League, right? And I got pretty good at it. I didn't enjoy it too much, but I did have fun with it. So I started playing it a good bit, right? And over time, I got away from the game. But prior to me playing Rocket League, I tried to play pool, and I did not fucking like it. Not only did I not like it, but I wasn't good at it, right? But if you know anything about pool or Rocket League, they both have the same dimensions of a ball. You know what I mean? Rocket League, you're basically a car that flies around hitting the ball. In pool, you're hitting angles, and it matters how you spin the ball, how you hit the ball, and everything like that, right? Well, as I got older and I went and lived in New Jersey for about 2 years, I started playing pool, and for some reason, I was just like already pretty good at it. Now, I did definitely take a lot of work, but I already had some skills, and I didn't really understand why at first. But then I started realizing it's like, oh, okay, because I've already studied the dimension of a ball. You know what I'm saying? So Rocket League, something that you would have had no inclination that would benefit you in your life, has actually turned out to be a benefiting thing to me. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of other ways I could find that in my life that it applied to. I mean, simply by just working hard, just by getting good at hard work, you'll get good at every job you ever go to. Because if you know how to work hard, you know how to learn any job. So to get really good at 10,000 things, just know one thing very, very, very well. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. Just find a passion. Pick a passion, man. Find something you enjoy and just get really good at it. And I guarantee you, within a couple years or months or days or whatever you want to say, you're going to start seeing some benefits in another aspect of your life, man. And that's a really cool thing to see and witness, especially when you start to see yourself grow as a person, man. That's very exciting. So y'all start working on some things, man. Start getting some hobbies that you enjoy to do, man. And don't be like, oh, I'm too young. I mean, I'm too old to try to learn how to play the guitar, man. I used to hear my brother say that, and it's like, people could learn. Like, I learned how to play pool really well. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm great, but I learned how to play pool really well in a matter of a year. You know what I'm saying? So if that's possible, it's just the repetitiveness of doing things. You know what I mean? The more that you do it, and the more often you do it, and the more hours you put into it, the more you'll learn. And the more hours you put into anything, the more that you'll, I guess, soak and absorb from that lesson that you're supposed to learn there. But anyway, we'll move on to the next one. Thank you. But all right, with that being said, let's read this. All right. Oh, you're waiting for me. My bad. Okay. Got it. All right. But now I did figure that I would get serious with this one because I feel like this one could benefit a lot of people in a very beneficial way. So let's benefit each other. Calm down. Whoa. But here we go. All right. So in this one, it reads, if you do not control the enemy will have control of you. Right? Now, I mean, I know that there's a lot of ways we could compare that to our lives and just kind of have a different understanding of it. But I'm just going to go ahead and throw my understanding out there because I feel like it is a very, very very deep one when you compare it to this. But so when I was like 16 to 17, you know, I started dabbling in weed and alcohol, and then when I ended up hitting like 18 and 19, I actually started getting into pills, and that hit a really, really dark path in my life. And not only did I not want to be on that shit the whole time, but I couldn't get away from it because I allowed my enemy to have control over me. Like, it got to a point to where I couldn't go anywhere without that stuff because the withdrawal would have been so bad. You know what I mean? And I hope that's a nice warning for anyone out there that's like 16 or whatever that's thinking about doing these things. About destroyed my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? So please refrain from doing that. But you know, it took a lot of work to be able to get that control back. So not only would I say keep control over your enemy, but don't allow yourself to start to waver, because once you do, your enemy starts to get more of a momentum and he has more of a chance to take you down. I hope if there's anyone else out there that are going through these kind of struggles, then y'all can start to evaluate these kind of thoughts too, because it really does hold you back from them. But you don't have to use drugs as that comparison right there. There's a lot of ways in our lives that we allow enemies to affect us, and that could be simple as someone that's not necessarily an enemy, but someone that is I guess, you know, battling against you, such as like your boss. You know, most of the time, like, you're sitting there trying to work a certain way so your boss keeps you. You know what I mean? So to a certain extent, that's your enemy. And if you don't have a certain amount of control over yourself, then that boss is going to have control over you. Because if you're not there on time, if you don't work hard, if you don't do what you're supposed to do and make sure you're good at it, then that boss can dictate what he does with your schedule, what he does with your life, what he does with your financial future. Like, there's a lot of things that really go into that. But I wanted to save this one for last because I figured that it's something that we all do to ourselves, and just make sure that we thoroughly kick ourselves in the ass on a daily. And the more that you live by this quote, the more that you'll start to see benefits from your life. So I figured that we'd end with this one, and y'all let me know what you think about this. But here we go. So this one is, of course, Miyamoto Masashi, but in it he says, "Truth is not what you want it to be. It is what it is. Bend to its power or live a lie." Now, I'm telling you, man, there's so many times when, you know, I told myself that things are going good. You know, things are going great. They're all okay, you know, but I wasn't doing anything to make sure that that action and that thought was true. You know, I wasn't putting no action towards a betterment of myself. I was just believing that one day things would just magically work out for me. And believe it or not, they didn't. Crazy, right? But once I started to realize that it takes you putting action, it takes you doing these things and not lying to yourself and being truthful with yourself about the things that are hard to be truthful with yourself about. That's when you really start to experience growth. But a lot of us don't want to be truthful to ourselves about the fact that we're not disciplined as we should be, or we're not as strong in certain aspects as we should be, or we eat the wrong foods that we should be eating. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that we lie to ourselves about because we can't stand to take the truth. And that is only a one-way staircase to destruction. You know what I'm saying? The more that you work on taking action and being truthful with yourself about the things that are necessary to do, then the better opportunities you have for yourself lined up in front of you, you know? And it also comes into play with a bunch of different aspects, such as, you know, believing that this person's good for you and this person's really not good for you. You know, you can lie and tell yourself all day that, you know, this person loves me, this person cares about me, this person's there for me. But if the actions are showing opposite, then you're just living in a lie, and you're allowing this person to hurt you because you are too weak at the moment to understand and take the truth. So with that being said, man, make sure that you're not lying to yourself, because lying to yourself, you're the only one that's lying. You know the truth, but you just don't want to face it. You don't want to accept it. And the more you do that, the more that it starts to affect you and your interactions with others. Definitely start to get better at that, guys. I'm telling you, that's probably one of the most prevalent things we could work on right now, just being truthful with ourselves, doing the things that are necessary to do, regardless if we want to do them or not. But like I said, as always, I really appreciate you guys watching every single time, man. It means a lot. I'm just trying to have a good time, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good, bro, because y'all have a good time with me. I feel like maybe, possibly, potentially, if not, then it's okay. But just don't let me know, because it'll hurt my feelings, and I'm very soft and fragile. You know what I'm saying? Yeah! But anyway, I really do appreciate y'all watching, man. I'm going to stop being a stupid bastard on this damn thing and go ahead and call it quits for now. Anyway, thank you a lot, guys. I really do appreciate it. And we gonna get gangster big. We gonna get out here. Yeah, let's get it. We better get that second workout in for the day. Hopefully y'all do the same. Maybe you can catch up, bro. Let's cheat. But anyway, good luck out there, man. Love you guys.
couldn't be. Do my eyes deceive me to receive such a fucking story that we just can't believe? Yes, indeed, I am him. Small beginnings to gaining millions. Need no minions, fuck your opinions. I'm pinning oppositions against the pot I pissed in for my whistles glisten. Stop your bitching, I'm living. Simply trying to find a fire that'll keep me driven till the day I do. Catch me spitting, shitting upon the graves of the ones that was hating. Watch, I'm demonstrating destruction versus me. Tissue paper to construction. Velociraptor to a chicken. Yeah, the speaker's eating, yeah. Yeah, watch his money stack right up. Watch him show his family love. Watch as he defies the odds and conquers constant destruction through the pain. Fire, but he sees his lane. Higher vision's not the same. Fighter crafting diamonds high pressure.